Hello, everybody. Okay, it's 10:30 on Wednesday. We are live for another Shift Happens show. And I am so excited because we have a guest that's literally going to blow your mind and change your life. So as people are hopping on, I want you to say hello, where you're tuning in from, and just say hi to Miss Jenny Potter because this woman is about to change your life if you're ready and if you're open. So Shift Happens is a show that I do weekly on my Facebook page and also in a couple private groups. And what I do is I bring on a guest weekly and we talk about their shift, what they went through in life. Because let's face it, guys, when shift happens, shift can happen. You can either shift in the right direction or you can shift in the wrong direction, right? So how many people here have been shifting in the wrong direction for way too long, right? Put wrong direction in the chat, right? Wrong direction in the chat, because we're here to help you shift in the right direction. So without further ado, I know we're starting really fast today. I normally talk a little bit in the beginning, but we are on a time crunch. We have so much to talk about, and I know that you can go back and watch the replay. So Miss Jenny Potter, I'm so excited you're here. And I'm so excited to call you Jeannie. Literally, guys, you want to say like people who are goofy and like do funny things and they beat themselves up afterwards. That's also something we could talk about. I'm switching that around. I'm not going to beat myself up. And by gosh, I said your name 500 times before we started this show. Jenny Potter, welcome to Shift Happens. Could you tell everyone a little bit about you? Because I could talk about you all day long, but tell us a little bit about you and how you got to where you are today.
Sure, absolutely. Thanks, Holly. Thank you for the awesome introduction. I'm super excited to be here. I am the best-selling author of Sabotage No More. And how did I get here? I got here because I spent a lot of years sabotaging. And a lot of stuff, a lot of personal growth, stepping into new life. And I really went from broken, lost, no direction, self-loathing to found, self-loving, dreamy life. I work from home. I get to hang out with my puppies, which you might hear during this interview.
Yay. You're the definition of broken to breakthrough. That's literally what it's about, from broken to breakthrough.
Awesome. Yes. So yes to that. And I live on Vancouver Island in Canada with my hubby, and we have two grown kids that live very close by. And life is pretty dreamy these days. So I just, my divine mission is to help people get out of their own way, stop self-sabotaging, and start living that dream life. And so that's what I do on a daily basis.
Who's here saying me? I want to do that. I want to live that life. Are you ready to go from broken to breakthrough? This is how you can do it. And the people that I've been messaging all morning and all day yesterday, this is the woman I was telling you about. Here, is it this way? No, here. This is the woman. I'm like, go buy her book. Go listen to her podcast. I'm interviewing her on Wednesday. You have to join my summit. Like, this is the girl that I've been telling you about. So I'm excited to bring her on today because she is going to help give us some tips today on how to shift in the right direction. She's been through it. She's gone through the training, and she's going to give us tools today that are going to help us shift today. So I have been listening to your book called Self-Sabotage No More. And you can buy it on Amazon. Is there anywhere else you can buy it?
Amazon.
Amazon. Okay. So Amazon, and then I went ahead and got the Audible because I'm like, I just do blah, blah, blah. Life's crazy. I can name all the excuses, but I got Audible. And I'm just like, yesterday, I'm just absorbing. I'm texting Jenny. I'm like, your book. And I'm texting all my friends because what she teaches here is stuff that's literally you can do instantly, like today, right now. So one of the questions in there I feel like is important to talk about is, what is a reticular activating
system?
Okay. We talked about reticular activating system and how this really controls everything. Like, what does that mean? And what does that mean?
I call this is your filter. This is your actual filter. Like, scientists have called it. That's why it's called something non-fun that's hard to remember. RAS or RAS, some people call it. But really what I call this is your sabotage filter, because what people do now, it's not always set to sabotage, but many people set it to sabotage, right?
Okay.
So your reticular activating system, what that is, it's how your brain lets in stuff. It's what it prioritizes to let in. So I just heard a TikTok that was so amazing the other day. So I'll just share his example because it was such a great, I use a similar example in the book, but how he said it was so cool. He was interviewing someone and he said, how many red cars did you notice on the way to the interview? And the guy said, I don't know, like 62. And they both laughed. And he said, no, really, how many did you notice? And he goes, well, I guess none.
Oh.
And he said, what if I gave you $100 for every red car that you noticed on the way to the interview? Then how many do you think you would notice? And he said, probably every one. And he said, this is what opportunity is like when we open our mind to opportunity. And this is speaking to the reticular activating system because our brain prioritizes what we prioritize. So there's a few things that happen. You can't adjust those. They're survival. So this is a loud noise or dangerous, something fast moving, like you're wired to notice that stuff. That's high priority survival.
Yeah.
You are your brain prioritizes your name. This is why when you're in a crowd and you suddenly hear your name and you're like, you haven't heard any other name. Like there's probably thousands of names being said, but you hear your own. This is because your brain is aware of, like, it's trained to listen for your name. The next thing is sex. Your brain is programmed to notice when someone wants to duplicate.
Wow.
So, because this is again a survival. Yeah, so you're aware. And then the last one is the one that you can control. And this one is what you prioritize, what you think about. So if you decide to focus and look for a red car, you're going to see red cars all day long.
Should we all do an experiment, guys? Say yes in the chat. We're all going to look for red cars today. And then I want you to come back to this video and type out tomorrow morning how many red cars you saw. Say red cars.
Even give it a monetary value. So every red car you get, it's not real. Holly's not going to send you this money. But let's say, how many hundreds of dollars, if this was a real contest, would you have earned, right?
Oops, yeah. $100 per red car.
Per car. Yeah.
Yes. Woo, yeah. That'll be fun. Okay.
Yeah. So you can come back in the chat and comment that. You'll notice that Mel Robbins talks about this filter and she uses hearts. So look for hearts everywhere and people see heart shapes everywhere. So it's pretty cool. But the point is what most people do, Holly, is they make their brain focus for where they're losing. So I suck. I'm a procrastinator. I'm a perfectionist. I never finish projects. I'm a plant killer. Right?
I'm always late. I'm so
unorganized. I'm so disorganized. I can never get ahead. I can never get on top of my bills. Debt's impossible. Like all of the things, right? So this is what we do. And so then what your brain does is it looks for, where am I broke? Where am I messy? Where am I disorganized? Where am I always late? But what it doesn't look for is where you're rich, where you're on time, where you show up for yourself every day. If you're someone that says, oh, I'm never consistent, I can't be consistent in anything. Well, that's not true. You get the kids to school every day. You get dressed every day. You eat every day. Like there's so many things that you are.
The good news is, yes.
Yeah. So the brain will look for whatever you program it to look for. And so what we want it to look for is opportunity, money, love, where we're amazing, how we're miraculous, where our gifts are, what we're good at. And so,
wow. Is anybody resonating with this? Like, I'm going to change my affirmations because I want to look for certain things. It's interesting because as we've talked before, so my brain automatically goes to, well, the good news is, and the people that know me, they call me the good news girl. It's like an ongoing joke. Like, well, Holly, what's the good news? Or people text me, Holly, I need some good news here. And I'm wondering if that's just something because, oh, my dad does it. My dad does it. And I'm like, oh, I think I got that from my dad. But no matter what situation it is, I do automatically look for the good news, but I'm also all the time saying, okay, you're late again. Why are you late? You're always late. You're
Mhm.
always messy. I'll trip over something. So this is interesting that I do that.
So those are the affirmations that we speak out that we don't kind of do on purpose. Like we've
Mm,
learned to belittle ourselves,
yeah.
but it's so much worse than just belittling because you're literally training your brain. So if you're that person who says, I never get a parking spot, I never get a good parking spot. I never get a parking spot close to the grocery store. You will literally drive right by one. Even if there is one, you won't even see it because you've trained your brain to look for the bad parking spot or the furthest away, or you're not even looking because it's not even a possibility for you. So people stand in the mirror in the morning, they do their affirmations, they say, I'm amazing, I'm $1 million
I'm a badass.
earner, I'm, a best-selling author. And they spend the rest of the day saying, I suck, I'm late, I'm broke, I can never get ahead.
Oh, shoot. That's me. I'm the problem. That's me. I'm the problem. It's me. I sing in reels because I do reels. I'm like, I
Yeah.
sing in reels. Okay.
So here's
So
the
how do we
thing.
stop that? Okay.
Yeah. You get to program it, change it right now. I'm guaranteeing you, anyone who goes out driving and leaves the house today is going to see a red car if you program your brain to look for a red car. So this is the good news.
Yes. Tell
The
me the good
good
news.
news is you can adjust right now. Like some of the stuff you say, Holly, is habit. I call habit thoughts or habit speaking. So you want to just notice it and shut her down. So like, oh, okay, well, is that true? Am I always late? Have I never been on time? What have I been on time for? Right.
Ooh,
And so you just start asking yourself more powerful questions. You start notice awareness is the first piece. So as soon as you're aware, you can reprogram, right? It's what we're not aware of that really,
what you don't know
yeah,
that you don't know.
you're just accidentally attracting broke all day long if you're speaking it out.
Wow. Is anybody getting value from this? I've got some people in the chat. I don't know if you can see the comments. If you go to the right-hand side and click the comments, Jenny, you can see them, but I feel like people are resonating with this big time. And I know a lot of people watch the replay, but I need to shut that voice up. So Susie, this is how you can shut that voice up is notice it and then start noticing the things that you do right, that you are doing properly, right? And just keep saying that over and over. Is that what we do?
Yeah. And so, Susie, that witch voice, we're gonna not even call it that anymore because that gives me like energetically, that's not good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna rename that voice to like it's just like a bird flying by. Okay. It's just like we're gonna like, oh, I spoke that out. Do I want that? No, I don't want that. What do I want? And that's a great question.
Mhm.
What do I want? That's a best question. Do I want that? It's a really good one to do. Like,
Yeah.
oh, is that what you want? You want to be late all the time or you want to be broke all the time? Or, maybe you're frustrated with a meeting and you get off the meeting and you're like, she's always late. She doesn't listen to me, blah, blah, blah. You're like mad.
Oh.
Well, what do you want? What would you prefer? What's better to speak out? And so just don't even give that voice power. Just ask yourself, is it true?
Mm.
And then shift direction.
Don't give the voice power. I want everyone to say this out loud right now. Don't give the voice power. Because by doing that, it's like when your kids are naughty and you give them all the attention because they're being naughty.
Yeah.
And then it's like that's the opposite of what you want to do. Don't give that naughty voice in your head attention because it's going to get
Exactly.
more attention, right? So that's okay. Already so much value. If you are loving this, go on my personal page. Make sure you share it, like, share, because this right here is going to help somebody big time. Don't give the voice power. I love that, Susie. We got this, girl. We got this. So another thing that was so powerful, and I feel like this is like the beginning of the change. I know what you said before is the beginning, but I feel like this is like digging up the crap,
Mm,
right? Digging it all out and throwing it away
mhm,
is unprocessed emotions.
mm.
Guys, sit down, grab a piece of paper, lean in, because this right here, something that you've heard before, but probably never really understood. So, what the heck are unprocessed emotions, and what does that have to do with me?
So, first of all, when you get rid of the unprocessed emotions, that negative voice tones way down. Like it'll just happen like half as much. And then you're just getting rid of the habit because
Mm,
the unprocessed emotions are the trigger. They're what trip the alarm, right? And so, unprocessed emotions, well, most of us don't really think of emotions as like a tangible thing.
right.
But how do we know that we're feeling an emotion? We feel something physical, right? And so what is an emotion? Like really like if we pare it down, what is an emotion? Like what is fear? Well,
Mm,
fear is you're so miraculously designed, Holly, that when there's danger, your kidney pulses a vibration that your body knows as fear. And so that vibration goes throughout your whole body, and then you feel that vibration. Okay, chemicals get released, the adrenal glands release cortisol, like all of this stuff
yeah.
happens. Same thing happens like if you feel joy, serotonin gets released, but it's a vibration that's alerting your body to release the chemicals. And then you feel it as butterflies in your stomach, as heart pounding, right? Like, why is your heart pounding? It's because this vibration has pulsed and created this domino effect in your body. So, how do you know you're scared, or how do you know you're anxious, or how do you know you're angry, or
Mm,
how do you know you're sad, or whatever? And it's how you feel, how you physically feel. And
wow.
so, what happens is when we're little, you'll see this with babies, they just emote. Like they're like,
Um,
"Wah," and then they're laughing, ha ha ha, and
yeah.
then they're crying again, and then they're like quiet, and then they're sleeping. Like babies are awesome because they haven't been taught yet by society that emotions are not okay. It's not okay to just emote at any time.
Oh, wow.
Society teaches us to push stuff down. Some of us are really good at processing emotions, most of us less good.
Yeah.
So, because we were taught to wipe that look off your face, to put a smile on your face, we were taught not to throw a tantrum if we're
Be a
feeling.
man. Like, I feel like a lot of men, like, shut up, no cry, be a man.
No crying. Lots of men have repressed crying for sure.
Mm,
Lots of women have lots of anger. They've
mm,
been taught to just put that smile. It's okay, but it's not okay. But inside, they've got this like deep anger. So this is most people would hear this or know this as like repressed. If you've ever heard
okay.
like
Yep.
of repressed anger, or you've ever met someone and you can see like, oh, they're angry.
Woo, watch out.
They're not, right? And I can talk about anger freely because I had a lot of repressed anger myself, and I was always all smiles, but I had all of this
Mm.
anger, and it would come out at the weirdest
Oh,
moments,
yeah.
right? Like it would get triggered.
Yeah.
And so when I found this tool, which is why I wrote the book, because it literally transformed my life when I released these emotions. We have unprocessed emotions. That vibration is stuck. So that vibration is like living in your knee or living in your lower back or living in your head.
Mm.
And so we release those unprocessed emotions, identify them, release them, and you will feel lighter. You'll physically, like I've worked with people where a rash has disappeared or tinnitus has disappeared, or, and this isn't a health claim, I'm just saying that
Yeah.
sometimes when we release emotions, like for me,
Migraines.
migraines just stopped. I
Right.
had migraines monthly for 10 years. And after I did this, I identified where they were. They were all right here. I had like 10 emotions, like right here. And I released those emotions, and
I wonder where I
I haven't
felt
had a
mine.
migraine
I don't
since.
know. I did a session with Jenny on Monday, and I was blown away. I was like, "Holy cow." Guys, like, this is a big deal. Like, this is real stuff. And she has like proof in her book and on her podcast of people that have literally changed their life, like literally changed their life of processing these unprocessed emotions. So if you're watching this, you're going, wait a minute, I think I have, which everyone does, right? You said everyone's got around, it's like 250 is average, as little
So
as like,
that's what I call your UP score, or your UPE score, your unprocessed emotion
right.
score. And so, and this is like it's such a fun thing. People always want to know their score, and people
Yeah.
will often come to me and say, I probably have thousands, you know.
Yeah.
Usually people don't have thousands, though once in a while, that's true. But usually it's about 250. The average person has 250 unprocessed emotions.
Okay.
And it's just super cool. We identify them and clear them. And in the book, I walk you through step by step on how to release them because, I mean, it triggers everything.
Everything.
Yeah,
Man,
it
do you
triggers
guys ever
everything.
feel triggered on something and you go, "Why the heck am I so triggered?" Like, we learn a lot about this in self-development is being triggered on things. Like, you feel like you're being attacked or like, "Gosh, why am I being so attacked right now?" Or like, "I need to defend myself." And the person's like, "That was outrageous what you just did." It's a trigger. And I mean, thinking how many marriages can be saved, and like friendships and marriages and jobs, and just by understanding what your unprocessed emotions are and how to work through them and be able to get rid of them. I have 321. Is that it? 321? I wrote it down. I can't remember. I have to go back and
It
look.
sounds right. It sounds
Yeah.
right.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, I got lots to work through. So I'm excited you're helping us work through this. So yes, if you are interested in working through your stuff, keep on, stay tuned. And then also at the very end, I want to share with you a summit that I'm doing that this amazing lady is going to be on and going into a lot of detail on all of this and walking through something called the alarm method. But I'll tell you that in a minute. So the other thing is unprocessed emotions. And there's also something I thought was very, very valuable that I was just reading in your book is I am statements, the simple change of I am statements. So I'm going to give you guys some examples that are really funny, right? So you're okay, I'm not feeling well today. Like I am sick, right? How many people have said I am sick? I am upset. I am angry. Has anyone said this? Put yes in the chat. I am dumb. I am sad. I am happy. But are you really? It's like saying I am a stomach ache. I am
So yes,
right?
with our emotions, what most people do in our language. So if you go to other languages, they don't speak about emotion the way that we do. But in the English language, what we do is we say, I am angry.
Yeah.
But you're not angry. You're not anger. You're experiencing the feeling of anger. You're experiencing the feeling of sadness. But what we do is we own it like I am
Yeah.
anger, right? I am. And so I am statements are so powerful. Affirmations are so powerful. And yet we're identifying with something that we don't want to identify with. And so I always use this makes me laugh, which is why I do it. You don't have to do this. You can just say, I'm feeling anger or I'm experiencing sadness or, that kind of thing. Or I experience the vibration of sadness because that's all an emotion is. It's a vibration letting you know, hey, boundary's been crossed. Hey, something not safe or whatever. But I like saying body is angry.
Oh, you said that in your book and I laughed.
I
Body.
like saying body is angry because it makes me laugh.
Yeah.
So I always give the example that my husband came home one day and I had told him like, babe, I'm doing back-to-back calls. And this was back when I do like 16 calls in a day.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
I was like, I had not yet set my own work boundaries. And so I was, doing call after call after call. And I was like, I'm going to be so hungry. I'm not going to have time to eat. Like, can you please? And normally I just do the food. I work from home. I'm happy to do it. But I was like, can you please just order something? And so I got done my last call. I walk out of the office. My husband's coming in the door. As soon as he sees me, he's like, oh,
Oh
I
no.
forgot. And, like, I was, like, hangry,
Yeah.
like, I was feeling that, like,
Yeah.
hanger feeling, and I look at him, and I just been talking to him about it, and he goes, "Are you mad at me?" And I said, "Mm-mm, body is angry." And then we both started laughing so hard because that's all it was, right? But if I had said, like, "I'm angry," all of a sudden, I'm
Mm.
owning anger. He's feeling like, "Oh, you're mad. You're angry with me." Like, and it's a whole different conversation. Or I deny that body is feeling angry and I say, "No, no,
It's
no,
fine.
it's fine. It's fine," which how many of us do that?
I'm gonna
But
put 2 hands up.
really,
It's fine. Everything's fine.
inside, you're feeling the vibration of anger and now you've just squished it. And so
Wow.
now, you're holding on to that vibration instead of allowing it. Yeah, body is angry or I'm feeling anger. I'm feeling the vibration of anger. Anything we can do to step away from it a little bit.
Yeah.
I also like to bring curiosity to emotions. So
Okay.
like, ooh, like interesting. Like that made me feel XYZ, right?
Right.
That made me feel that feeling. I wonder what's up with that. I wonder
Mm.
what needs healing. What do I want to feel?
Can you imagine if all of us said, "I wonder what needs healing?" When emotion comes up, and I also was thinking, I was like, "Gosh, I teach my kids to say I am angry,"
Mm,
because what I'm wanting to teach them how to express their emotions because I have boys, and a lot
mm,
of boys are raised to not express their emotions, and it's interesting because now I'm gonna change the way I phrase that
mm.
because I'm trying to do something good because I want them to be able to express it, not make
Yeah.
it go down. So what
Mhm.
I would like to switch it to is I'm feeling frustrated. I'm
Mhm.
feeling angry. And
Yeah.
then also I walked through yesterday with my other son because my little one got triggered. It's after
Mhm.
listening to this book. Guys, get her book. I'm literally parenting my kids different in one day. Like I literally was like, "Oh, Keegan, this right here is an emotion because this is how he feels in the situation. What
Yeah.
you said triggered this emotion and
Mhm.
it triggered it to make him do this, triggered your emotion, so I walked through it. And what I did is I said, "Let me give you an example so you understand. Do you remember the other day when mommy said this and it triggered this emotion, but I didn't mean it that way?" I literally walked through that situation. He goes, "Oh, I didn't mean to do that to Caden." I said, "Yeah, let's go talk to him about it."
Mhm.
Instead of going, "It's fine. It's he'll get over it." He'll get over it. No, he won't get over it. And then it's gonna be an unprocessed emotion. And then he's gonna be 40 years old, meeting his kitty going, "Help me. I'm divorced.
So,
I
just
hate
so you know, not every emotion, like, don't panic about
I'm
the
joking,
kids,
yeah.
like, not every emotion gets stuck, and some of us will hold on to more emotion than others.
Yeah.
I think kids nowadays actually have more ability to process emotion, than, like, the
Yeah.
age where children were to be seen and not heard, like,
Oh,
that
right.
whole generation. So,
Yeah.
I actually think it's getting better where kids have more choice and more voice, but I like to tell, kids that emotions are like bubbles. So they're
Mm.
like little bubbles that wanna bubble up and out, and so, that's where my alarm method comes in super handy. You can just give kids like that action to clear away and help release. Because whatever we resist persists. So if we're resisting feeling a certain way, it's going to keep coming up.
I've got so many notes. This was amazing. It's already almost 11 o'clock, and we both have a hard stop at 11. So I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to invite you to join our summit. It's a free summit. It's launching November 15th. You can sign up for early sign up so you know exactly what's going on. But I have a free summit, and I'm bringing in special guests just like Jenny to help you make a shift in the right direction. It's called Shift Happens Summit. Unstuck yourself, right? Unstuck yourself, the secrets to going from broken to breakthrough. So if you're interested, just put summit in the chat. I'll give you some more information. It's completely free. Launches November 15th. I've got a lot of goodies that come with it. And I also really want to encourage you to go on Amazon. Go ahead and get her book, listen to it on Audible. You're going to thank your future self. Is that the
Mhm.
phrase? You're going to thank your future self because of it? There's a really cute phrase that people say. You're going to thank yourself. You're going to thank, like your marriage is going to thank you. Your kids are going to thank you. Your relationship with your boss are going to thank you.
Mhm.
You're going to be able to instantly start noticing things and start moving in the right direction. So before I sign us off, is there anything that we missed? Is the Lord like wanting you to say something really quick, or are you good?
I'm just so excited for the summit, Holly, and everything you're doing. And I just want to thank you for
Mm.
all of the work you're doing behind the scenes because I know what
It's a
this
lot of
kind of
work.
event takes. And so thank you for bringing so many amazing people
Mm.
together to teach people how to shift because the work that you're doing is changing the world. And
Mm.
so, yeah,
Yay.
I'm just really excited to be a part of it. Thank you so much.
Oh, so excited. I'm so excited. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us on Shift Happens. Next week, I have another guest that's also talking about Tyler's on next week. He's
Mm.
also talking about being able to shift. And so, definitely tune in for next week. Definitely let me know about the summit. If you got value from this, just click the share button. Click the share button, share this to your feed. You may have someone that's scrolling by that stops and says, huh, Shift Happens, listens to this and literally shifts their entire future. And you get to be a part of that. So today is the day that you can make shift happen. So go out in the world, make shift happen, and let's move forward together. Say bye. Thank you.